Is it possible to use a dual processor computer as your desktop? I've seen some people suggesting to get a motherboard that supports 2 processors and stick 2 Xeon Nehalem processors in it. Could you use this system as a desktop PC, or is this useless or even impossible? It's more hypothetical question if Windows 7 would support such a setup. I know you could just take an i7, but wouldn't 2 of those processors be a whole lot more awesome? Like the previous generation Skulltrails. The idea would be to have a motherboard like this. Asus Z8NA, D6C Dual LGA 1366 Intel 5500 ATS. And 2 Xeons, since I don't think i7s could be used, Intel Xeon E5405 Harpertown. To run something like Windows 7 Ultimate.
Dual processor desktop. Is it possible? Yes. Should you do it? Don't bother unless you have custom requirements for it. In fact, do not even go beyond dual core processors. Do i7 and Nehalem architecture in general have advantages? Yes. Recheck your need for a multiprocessor setup and take the call. There are a lot of other hardware parts you can use the money on. Memory, for instance. Dynamic, magnetic, or solid state these days.
In normal desktop applications, the bottleneck is almost always I/O, so I'd say spend your money on one of those new Intel SSDs and lots of fast RAM.
It depends on the operating system you want to use. If you want to use Windows XP Home, I'd say it does not come with a multiprocessor kernel. But the question is, why would someone use a multiprocessor PC as a desktop PC? What about dual and quad-core CPUs?
There is no reason why you could not, but beware that typically this might mean you need a whole bunch of components specifically suited to the motherboard too, from specific processors, to ECC memory, to in some cases, special expansion cards. There is however a potential benefit in that multi-socket motherboards typically have a much better aggregate memory bandwidth than a multi-core single-socket solution with the same total number of cores. Not to mention that there are usually more memory sockets, meaning you can put a whole lot more memory in, which may make sense depending on what you intend to do.
It's possible and great, but expensive solution. And if you didn't use software, which can use multiprocessor, then it's useless. If you're a developer or you're using VM software, you get some improvement. But still this question is subjective. Each user have opinion for this. Developer. First CPU. OS, IDE, clients and others. Second CPU. VMS with servers, same configuration like production server. But if you want better performance for your OS, it's better invest to SSD HDDs, Intel or Samsung, because HDDs is most slowest component in computers. Multicore versus multiprocessor performance. Multicore versus multiprocessor, the advantage? At the Joel on Software discussion group.